Let's get in there. Good thing I saved the vessel. So a mod which I haven't added, which I'm probably going to add soon since I'm starting to get into the crew now, is crew R&R, which is a crew R&R is a mod which forces you, which makes the Kerbals go on vacation after they complete a mission. So it forces you to use more Kerbals than just Jeb or whoever it is they use, and this lets you continue to use Jeb and your other orange suits, and yet they go away sometimes and you get to use others. So let's load the vessel. Alright, go into here, good Jeb, and let's launch and let's see if it crashes. Keep your fingers crossed. I think we're good. Yes, we are. Great. No idea why that happened, but we'll be fine. Alright, so this is our first of 2 manned vessels to go into orbit. I use MechJeb for these sorts of launches simply because I've done it. I don't need to do it again. Well, Pap, I know of one in terms of a memory leak. Is that what you're talking about, or is it something else? Okay. While you work on that, let me get my going. So if anyone is interested, right now KSP is using about 28% of my CPU, and it's using about 5.2 gig of memory. Pap, I'm reading. It's not a bug. Why don't you go up onto GitHub and open a feature, open an issue, and I'll mark it as a feature request. That shouldn't be that difficult to do. But other than the, hold on a second. Alright, so we had separation. Good sep. There they go, they didn't collide with each other. Anyway, Pap, other than the suicide burn, I'm more in a maintenance mode right now, just fixing bugs, waiting for 1.3 to drop. I wish that image was bigger, Jim. But I love it. And I'm saving it. Alright, so we have now, we're heading up to orbit, which is good. I just turned on RCS to give McJeb a little bit of a help. Okay, so we're coasting up. Looks like we just got into space. McJeb is aligning and will then warp until time for the burn. Yeah, Jim, you have any idea where that image originally came from? And we are circularizing. And as usual, we have way too much an overbuilt rocket. Alright, but that's fine. I don't mind overbuilding. Alright, so we are circularized. Okay. And I am going to leave this here with the full stage, even though I probably don't need it, until I get the other one up here. And once I've launched the next one, then I'll decide what I want to do in terms of the tanks. Alright, so let's head on back to the Space Center. Hi Torek, I'm not sure if I saw you before. Well, the localization isn't that going to be that bad for most mods. It really depends on how text heavy a mod is. I mean, a lot of mods, there's very little text, and some of the stuff is just going to stay the same anyway. I mean, M for meters is going to stay the same no matter what language you're in. Okay. So in terms of the mods which do have text, I've done something like this many years ago. I'm going to write a program which is going to scan my mods, one at a time of course, find all the text streams and write them out to a file. And then that's going to end up being the localization file, and then I will be able to replace every string there in the mod with a proper call to load it from that file. And once I've done that, it'll be fairly easy. In order I'm not going to do any translations, but I'll be more than happy to have other people do the translations and incorporate it. And yes, contract packs do have a lot of text, especially yours. I think one of mine, the mod which is governments, state funding, is has a significant amount of text also, which is going to have to be translated. All right, let's go into here. Hello, Rocket. Welcome back. Did you have your food? And Rocket, we are in the middle of a contract to get 2 vessels to rendezvous in orbit. It's always good to have the streamers fed. Okay. Cantab, good night all. Thank you very much for coming, and I look forward to see you next week. Alright, so now Valencia, great. And frankly, I was a little unhappy about do I have the clamps yet? Yes, I do. I'll just do that. Okay. Great. And let's go launch Valencia. Tarek, that's why I have to change it, because it's actually a copyrighted image from a Linux magazine. I've contacted them. I wanted to license it. I was willing to pay a little money. Unfortunately, they wanted £350 for me to license it for the use that I told them I wanted to do it with. And frankly, for me, that's $450, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money. So I actually had someone on the forums whip up a replacement. And I have a thread on the forums looking for comments. I also did a couple of pictures on the forum, you know, of what I was looking for. So let me see. Maybe I can dig it out real fast. Okay. In the meantime, we need to go here. All right. Set as target. Okay. So now I've never had a lot of luck with MechJeb doing rendezvous in terms of it doing, you know, doing it. So I'm just going to do it myself, and I'll figure I will launch when he's around here. In the meantime, let me see if I can find this, see my activity. Just give me a second. Here we are. So this is a you take a look at this forum, at that thread. Like I said, the image is very nice, but it's a little somewhat simplistic for what I'm looking for. Pap, if you when you're ready to do that, give me a holler, and I'll see what I can do with you. In the meantime, I haven't done any work on my side yet because they haven't finished with their work. So until a squad finishes to a large extent their localization stuff, I can't. I'm not gonna bother doing anything. So it's gonna time warp here carefully. So I figure if he's around here, that'll be a good time for me to launch. Right there. Okay, we'll go there. We are going to launch. I'm actually going to aim for well, let's aim for the 100 and see what comes up. Okay, we are ready to launch our rendezvous. And there it is. In 135. 3, 2, 1, engage. Oh no. Okay. Huh. Silly me, I forgot to check the staging on the launch clamps. There they are. Bye-bye. I'm actually going to wait a little bit. I want to see if... No, they're not going to go out of they're going to crash. No. Yep. Where are they going to go? Oh, there's one. Okay. So let's go back, and I will just recover this and do it again. That's embarrassing. Well, what happened was that I believe that the main engine actually had a little throttle, so it softened its going down so it didn't impact the ground that hard. Well, I haven't killed anybody yet. Yes, I do. Hold on. Okay, this is a list to a Google spreadsheet of all of the mods that I currently maintain, and I'm hoping we aren't crashing again. There we go. If you scroll down the screen, you'll see the mods. There's another spreadsheet link, which are the mods which are in the current game, and that is up to date right now. All right, so here's what we got to do. Here's my problem. The second issue was that once I realized what had happened, I hit space again, so I immediately staged the two boosters. Valencia. Well, maybe it was Valencia's birthday and she just needed a couple of Roman candles as, for a birthday cake. Pap, I am not an artist, not by far, so I saw this flying penguin, I believe it was actually back in 2010, and I've been using it pretty much ever since, but unfortunately, hopefully I'll be able to come up with something, either on my own or if I can get one of our many graphic artists on the forums. All right. So we are going to try this again. Let's go into orbit. Where are we? Oh, well, we're just going to go 3, 2, 1. There we go. We have cleared the tower. And okay, I know that in real life you couldn't launch another rocket 5 minutes later, but it's a game. Willie, it's worth it. And right now I believe that it's actually on sale at 40% off. Rocket, I saw that on your stream earlier. Was that a Steam sale? So what I have noticed with MechJet is that, especially with vessels like this, it's and these launches, it tends to wiggle a little bit. Nothing dangerous, but it's just one of those annoying things. Thank you, Rocket. So Willie, go for it. It's well worth it. Willie, let me give you an example. When I buy a game, I look to, it's a personal thing, I figure that for every dollar I spend, I want to get an hour of fun out of it. Okay? And there, of course, there have been a lot of games in which that hasn't happened. Okay? But Kerbal is so far on the other side that by itself it's more than made up for all the money I've ever spent on games. Okay. looks like we're going to be a little ahead. And I'm not the only one. It's fun. And if I then add all the hours that I put in working on mods, it's huge. And for me, half the fun of playing this game is writing the mods, maintaining them, etc. So yeah, it's more than worth it. And I would say that the PC, when I heard they were coming out on the console, it's like, it didn't mean too much to me because I don't have a console at all. But even when they come out with the fixes for the console, it's still not the same. You'll never be able to have the mods or the sheer number of mods for the console that you have on the system, on the PC. CCAN has, I believe, over 1,000 mods, and there are well more beyond that. There's a number of people who don't like using CCAN, or just never bothered. All right, so let's see where we are here. We are. So we're 100 kilometers away. That's not bad. So I'm going to disengage and stop. And now for this one, I am going to get rid of the big rock because I don't need it. Not for this. So let's see. We want to the one thing I didn't do was to put a probe core on this rocket so I could get it out of orbit. I keep forgetting to do that. Alright, so what I want to do then, let's get rid of that. Okay, I want to raise my periapsis by about 10. Actually, you know, I'm not even going to bother with this. This is such a simple maneuver. I'm just going to wing it. Okay, so first we want to decouple. Alright. And we got that. So great. So we want to go prograde. Alright. And so periapsis, we want to raise that to say 110. Okay, so we'll raise the AP, not the periapsis. I'm sorry. That should do. Okay. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not. Like I said, I don't have a console. My son has a console, but he lives about 1,000 miles away from me. But I'm not aware of console games being as configurable and expandable as PC games. Now, I admit that I've never really had a lot of fun on the PC games, on the console, and I have played them a little bit. Alright. But it's... No. I realize I'm a bit of an oldie. So we'll do that. And stop. Great. So now quick save.